can stop the path of Cage?
Well, here we are, our main event of the evening. And this behemoth, this machine, Brian Cage, the man that will face Jon Moxley later this summer at Fyter Fest.
Listen to me carefully, Excalibur. I know you know Brian Cage. Do not attempt to shake his hand. Do not. Do not attempt to shake his hand. Whatever you do, just don't. I know you know Brian Cage. You can talk with him. Don't try to shake his hand.
I like my hands to function as normal, so I don't want them to be crushed by the machine, Brian Cage, who is out here to observe our main event match here tonight on AEW Dark.
The following contest is set for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, from Joliet, Illinois, weighing 210 pounds, Robert Ego Anthony.
Well, Robert Anthony, we've seen him before here in the AEW ring. He has a huge opportunity ahead of him tonight as he takes on the AEW World Champion Jon Moxley in this non-title matchup.
Well, Mox better hang on to that beautiful AEW World Heavyweight Championship belt as tight as he possibly can. Because the specimen behind this announce desk, right behind you and I, Excalibur, the machine Brian Cage, come Fyter Fest, is not only going to give that man, Mox, the fight of his life.
And his opponent, from Cincinnati, Ohio, weighing 231 pounds, he is the AEW World Champion, Jon Moxley!
I have no idea why anybody would empower anyone to interrupt me when I'm on that tirade, but I'm telling you right now, Mox is in for hell. Come Fyter Fest, the machine is gonna buzz right through him and capture that AEW Championship.
Well, a very interested Brian Cage looking on as Jon Moxley, the AEW World Champion, takes on Robert Anthony here in our AEW Dark main event matchup.
Robert Ego Anthony, solid competitor, heck of an athlete, but he definitely, I will say, you know, it's a tough draw for him right now dealing with someone like Moxley, but I'm so glad that Cage is behind me here watching this as I am. This is just, we're just scouting right now. This is perfect.
Collar and elbow tie up. Anthony trying to gain the upper hand on Moxley, but Moxley backing Anthony. No, Anthony actually, Moxley trying to capture the wrist. He does.
Yeah, quick switches right there. Hammerlock by Anthony. But see, you know this, Excalibur, about me, okay? And I know every competitor on this roster, male or female. I know their moveset, their offense perfectly. I study everything, the flaws and the positives of all of them, okay? And I'm gonna bring that to the brain of the man behind me, and he's gonna put that through his brawn. That's the thing that's gonna go down at friggin' Fyter Fest.
Brian Cage just made his AEW debut a couple weeks ago, all the way back at Double or Nothing, winning that casino ladder match to earn his shot at Jon Moxley.
Well, you know, he's well versed in some BJJ. You know, he likes working on the mat. He likes doing some jiu-jitsu, does Moxley. All right, no problem. Do some jiu-jitsu. That's fine. Fine. I'm pretty sure that Brian Cage will be prepared for any kind of grappling, any kind of mat work that Moxley wants to do.
We saw Moxley use that bulldog choke as he transitioned into a rear naked sleeper. That's how he was able to put Mr. Brody Lee to sleep at Double or Nothing.
And it was impressive.
And that's how he was able to retain that AEW World Championship.
It was impressive. And let me ask you something. The man that's helping Brian Cage's brain, does he know a little bit about choking people out?
Just a thing or two.
Yeah, you're damn right. So that choke won't work with this guy right here. That choke any choke that Mox wants to do will not work with Brian Cage. It will not on my watch and not on Cage's watch. It ain't happening.
Jon Moxley, of course, training at Extreme Couture to add a more grappling and submission-based offense to his repertoire. He trips out the leg of Robert Anthony here.
But he slightly lost his balance on that back heel trip. I spotted that. All of his weight was back instead of forward. See, that's what I'm saying. If your weight is back a teeny bit, yeah, and you go to sweep someone, that's a good way to get you drop down to your butt. Next you know, you're getting hooked. You got to keep your weight forward a little bit. Hey, our champ should know that. I'm just being honest. I'm not trying to bury the guy. I'm just telling you what I see as someone who's straight up in the brain of the man behind me, the machine behind me. And that was a nice headlock takedown by Moxley.
Side headlock takeover. Moxley really wrenching on the neck of Robert Ego Anthony.
See what he's doing? He's smart, putting all his weight, Moxley, is on Anthony's head, as he has a great grip right there. And Anthony doing a good job attacking the grip. And he broke the grip. If Anthony could break the grip of Mox, what do you think Cage could do? He'll snap the wrist of Mox.
Shoulder tackle. Moxley, though, stands up, keeps his feet, and drops Anthony down. Goes for the trip. Deep arm drag there by Robert Anthony, and a drop kick takes Moxley down.
Yeah, well, Anthony is kind of one step ahead of the champion right now. Interesting.
Ooh, Moxley escapes the fireman's carry. Jon Moxley kind of collecting his thoughts right there.
Yeah, I mean, for a second, Anthony's telling me you were just a second away. Just a second away. If Robert Anthony, no disrespect to this man, if he could do something like that to Jon Moxley, once Fighter Fest happens, what do you think Excalibur Brian Cage is going to do? Are you kidding me? I'm not saying it's going to be easy, dude, but I'm telling you, Mox is in for a world of hurt.
Fighter Fest, one of the more eagerly anticipated events of this summer. Great ankle pick there by Moxley.
Yeah, actually a low single, not to correct you. That's a low single, sir. Low single.
Nope.
And now Moxley bringing Anthony back up to his feet.
Well, he's got good control right there. Turns him out and then back sweep again and controlling that arm. We've seen him do a lot with people's limbs, with arms, and he does a good job right there. It looks like he might be going. And then Cage he respects what's going on. It looks like maybe he was trying to go, as you saw Excalibur, maybe he was trying to go for a short arm scissor, but then he released out of it, I should say.
We're seeing a much more technical side of Jon Moxley in this matchup.
Yeah.
Almost as if he's trying to send a message to yourself and the machine, Brian Cage.
You might be right. And we love messages, all sorts of messages. Okay? Now he's got to break the timing of Anthony here.
Anthony goes over the top, but Moxley building up ahead of Steam Tope Suicida.
That was impressive. And we know that. We understand that Moxley, and I'll use a cliche, will throw caution to the wind. He'll take a shot. He don't give a rat's ass. He'll put his body on the line. I know how tough this man is. Cage knows how tough Moxley is. Trust me, we know.
And
He's
Moxley,
tough.
yeah, he might have tweaked that shoulder. We saw him trying to work out some kinks.
He better hope it's healthy by Fighter Fest.
Robert Anthony throws the
Nice
boot, but
dragon screw there.
gets taken down. Throws another one. Oh, a second time.
Yeah, well, that's well done right there. That's a good way to blow a guy's knee out. So, yeah, that's something that we need to keep an eye on that, because that was well done and very quick by Mox. He's showing his athleticism and how quick his footwork is. That's the key with any kind of takedown, is footwork. A lot of people don't understand that. People who've never been on a freaking mat or in a dojo don't understand how important footwork is. Mox's footwork is excellent.
Robert Anthony just getting broken down limb from limb by Jon Moxley.
Fired up, Excalibur. I'm sorry.
I've noticed it. And now, look at this, the shoulder capture.
Oh, okay.
Moxley tossing Anthony. Covers one. Oh, one count there.
I guess he was watching Best of Taz Volume 2. So, yeah, that's fine. You're going to pull out a throw I did. I might have invented that throw. You know what Cage can do if he high cradles a guy, dude? He'll connect someone's knee to their face and break their nose with the guy's own knee.
Look at this, Anthony trying to fight his way up off the canvas.
Tearing the leg up. Excalibur, explain in your way how well you know Cage. How many matches before AEW, how well you know what Cage can do.
I've probably called maybe 50, 70 matches with Brian Cage's career. I have seen the evolution of him. And you know, he has become a world-class competitor under my watch. And Taz, I'm frankly scared of what he's going to become.
That's right.
With you in his ear.
Yes, sir. You know what he's about. And that was, you know, a nice single leg crab that Mox had on Anthony, and Anthony had to go to the bottom rope. But yeah, I just want people to know how well you know what Cage can do from all the years of calling his matches, you know, so you understand what he's about.
I've seen the growth, I've seen the evolution of Cage. And if I have to say, Taz, one of the weak points in his game, in my opinion, was the submission wrestling.
Yeah, well, maybe you're right. That was past tense. I can assure you his submission game is on point. On point. Don't worry about it. He is ready. He is a super athlete. The machine behind us, Brian Cage, is a freaking super athlete. From speed, power, ability, agility, flexibility, intensity, violence, rage. No one can stop the path of Cage. I rhymed. I didn't even try to rhyme, and I rhymed.
Oh, Moxley pulling Anthony to the center and sending him inside out. Robert Anthony, a very tough draw for this man.
You see the poise that Mox has. A lot of inexperienced athletes would rush in and maybe amp up their sense of urgency there, and he didn't do that because he wants to torture this man. That's what Mox wants to do. You see, he's trying to send a message to Brian Cage, the machine. That's what he's doing. I understand what Mox is doing. You really think, hey, Mox, do you really think that Cage is afraid? Does he look afraid? Hey, Cage, are you afraid? Come on, bro, please, not afraid.
Oh. You get the impression that Moxley could have ended this match at any point of his choosing. But now he's got Robert Anthony stuck in the ring post figure 4. Oh, man.
That hurt.
He's going to break the leg of Robert Anthony.
Yeah, definitely. And he's putting he has been putting a lot of offense on that leg of Anthony. This is happening for one reason, Excalibur. This is Moxley trying to show myself and obviously Brian Cage what he's capable of, and that he's a violent, vicious man. Hey, Mox, we know you're violent and vicious. Beat the guy already, and enough with the bull. Okay? Really, enough of this. We see what you're doing. He's trying to make an example out of this guy.
Jon Moxley has just been brutalizing Robert Anthony here, and finally, almost mercifully returning him to the ring.
Yeah, that poor guy can't stand up. I mean, you kidding me? He's tortured this man's leg.
I mean, this could very well be a career-shortening match for Anthony.
Oh, God! Listen, the size of Cage's quads and his hamstrings and his calves, the power in his legs. Cage, are you impressed? No, of course not.
Jon Moxley up to the top rope. Leapfrogs up and over Anthony. Coming into the corner, Anthony, though.
Oh, look at this.
Turns the tables on the AEW World Champion.
Shoot a half and pin him, dude. Get the victory of your life.
Robert Anthony trying to awaken some life.
Don't agree with this.
Those legs of his.
This is when you don't have proper guidance. He should not be doing this right now. He had an opportunity to pin Jon Moxley and defeat the AEW World Champion. There was an opportunity there.
Oh, look at this. Robert Anthony's trying to get him up in the Romero special, but he doesn't have the leg strength. His leg's so damaged by Moxley.
Not a good one. You just nailed it, Excalibur. I don't understand why you would do that.
Covers one. Oh,
now he goes
count
for his cover. There's no reason to put the Romero special on. He should have shot himself a half while Mox is on his belly and pinned him and cradled him up. He had him, potentially maybe had him beat.
Moxley just getting battered in the corner by Robert Anthony.
You see, Mox, what he's doing wrong here, and Cage, I know you're paying attention, my friend. He let this guy hang around. I don't think he should have done that. He tried to set a tone, set an example, make an example out of Anthony.
Oh!
And he's letting him hang around. Now he's obviously taking big control here. You can't let teams or players or people hang around when you can beat them flat out.
Moxley hit that big clothesline, and now he's got Anthony up. He's looking for that Gotch-style pile driver. Anthony avoids it, brings Moxley back up to his feet, up on the shoulders. And now Death Valley driver by Robert Anthony. He covers. 1, 2, no!
I mean, I don't know. It's funny to me. I mean, Brian, I mean, it's just like, you know, it's like this. He can't beat this guy.
Jon Moxley.
It's like he can't beat him. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm a little shocked here.
Robert Anthony getting up to his feet. Moxley in dire straits here. Anthony charging across the ring. Jon Moxley rolls him through, brings him in. He was thinking paradigm shift. Anthony detected it.
Yeah, and he countered it.
He bull rushed Moxley to the corner. Moxley sends him up and over the top. Anthony staggers him back towards center. Robert Anthony up to the top. Oh, man! Went for the leaping hook on Rana, but instead got flat with that powerbomb. Now Moxley just drops Anthony down.
Well, do yourself a favor, champ. Pin him already.
Covers 1, 2. Oh!
Are you kidding me? Cage, did you see that, dude? Bro, is this a joke? What is going on here?
Moxley's got him hooked, steps over, Texas Cloverleaf.
Yeah. I mean, look at the heart that this guy Anthony's showing.
But Moxley drags him to center and sits back. Robert Anthony forced to tap out.
Wow.
Here's your winner by submission, the AEW World Champion, Jon Moxley.
I'll tell you what, congratulations, champ, on a victory on a surprisingly hard-fought battle. That's not going to get it done, Mox. Not against that cat right behind me. Wow, I'll tell you. He had that Texas Cloverleaf Excalibur, as you said, and the man had to tap out. Anthony had to tap out. It's impossible to get a Texas Cloverleaf on Brian Cage.
Well, Taz, I think Jon Moxley made the mistake in the early goings of letting Robert Anthony hang around a little too long, but once he kicked it into high gear, Jon Moxley proved that he is very nearly unbeatable. He proved why he is the AEW World Champion.
I disagree. And I understand why you're saying that. I do, and I can see how a lot of people would agree with you. I'm not impressed, neither is Brian Cage. And I normally am impressed. I'll tell you, he is beatable. And he should be looking over here, not looking into empty seats. He should be looking at Brian Cage behind me. Not turning, see, that's disrespectful.
Well, Jon Moxley, the AEW World Champion, victorious here tonight, and he will be facing that man, Brian Cage, coming up later this summer at Fyter Fest. Thank you, everyone, for joining us here tonight on AEW Dark. We will see you tomorrow night on TNT at 8/7 Central for AEW Dynamite.